Thanks, Rick. What a battle it was. It was a championship atmosphere in every sense of the word. Great crowd, two great football games, battling it out, slugfest. Just go through that Kennesaw game just a little bit. Started off a little slow. Obviously on offense, we were moving in to score on the first drive, had some penalty setbacks, had to settle for 3 there. Their offense jumped on us a little bit quick. Hats off to Coach Mack and their crew. They were very well prepared. The tempo was what we thought it was. And their quarterback played absolutely out of his mind. He ran the ball, he threw the ball where he needed to, and had a pretty successful day. Now, we battled back. The one thing I will say is I can't tell you how proud I am of our football team, our resilience. There a little bit in the second quarter, you felt like you could get away from you a little bit. We were able to get it back to within a point before halftime, came out, fought back, went back and forth with scores, and just came a few plays short. What I can tell you in championship experience of our own, I know it's new to Missouri State football. It's not new to us as a staff and some of our players that have played in high-level ball. You have to execute each and every play. You don't know which play it will be out of the 100 that you play. And sometimes you do everything that you can possibly do, and it's just not enough that day. They play better, they execute a little higher volume, and you just don't get it done. The best thing about where we're at right now is a program that used to be dead to everyone else in the country and even this community is now upset and discouraged and, as pissed off as I am about going into a championship game that you think you should have won. That's a testament to our staff, it's a testament to our players and these guys that have truly bought in and pretty much resurrected a dead-in-the-water program. So we've got a big day for our seniors coming up on Saturday. Excited for those guys to have an opportunity to play one more game at home. Their families are coming into town. Everybody's excited, and we got another good challenge with La Tech.
Coach, let's start with the play up front in this one. The Owls defense ranks number 1 or number 2 in sacks, tackles for a loss. They're a bad group of guys, but your offensive line maybe played the best game they've played all year. Jacob Clark only got knocked down on that white jersey one time in 4 quarters.
Yeah, Corey, that's a great observation. I'm right there with you. I told the team, I think that was the best offensive line performance that I've seen since we've been here in 6 years. They had a tough task. They were going up against a group of guys that had a ton of production, that were super active, high motor, really powerful players. Again, we talked at length throughout the week that our programs are similar in regards to how we play the game, our toughness, our physicality, and the O-line, man, they stepped up and had a tremendous day.
Can you talk about the last drive, the flea flicker, and then the field goal?
Yeah.
The calls on that, and if you had to do it over again, would you have the same calls go?
Yeah, would love to talk about it. Hindsight's always 20/20, right? And I think if we were sitting here and they had worked and we're high-fiving and going, oh, we're creative, we're courageous, we call these super special plays and win the game, it's a little different. What I will say to that is I am the head football coach, so every offensive call, defensive call, special teams call that doesn't work, look right here to me. I'm okay with that. I can handle that because our staff puts together a tremendous game plan. They work so hard. They pour so much into this. We didn't just draw those up in the sand. If you actually watch the film and take a second to dissect the play, whether it was the right, wrong, an advantage call, a disadvantage call, if we operate it correctly, Jacob walks down the sideline for a touchdown. And then on the field goal, you're sitting there looking at a 52-yarder. We're 5 for 12 outside of 42 yards. I think that was our statistics this year on deep kicks. Now we had shown a willingness to kick it and try to kick in previous games, and we knew the look we were going to get. Again, try to get around the edge. It didn't work, so it was the wrong call. But to sit here and second guess yourself, we're a group of men that we play to win the football game. You're not playing to tie, you're not playing to keep it close, you're playing to win. So every single call we make, we feel like is going to work. Again, we're not just sitting there, pulling thoughts out of the sky. These are thoughtful calls and processes that we use to try to go win the football game. It didn't work, unfortunately, but as long as I'm the head football coach at Missouri State, we're going to be aggressive. We're going to die with our boots on, and our players will make us right the majority of the time, just like they have all year.
What worries you about La Tech this weekend, a variety of different situations?
Yeah, they're a good team. They're really well coached. Sonny does a good job. They're coming off a really big win this week, really emotional overtime win. That was really good for their program. They play hard. They play an aggressive brand of defense. They pressure. They do different things for our quarterback. We got to be able to handle that again up front. Another challenge for our guys. And then offensively, they're going to run to win. I think they've tried to kind of find their recipe for success on the offensive side, just due to some injuries and things of that nature. But they certainly were clicking last week, so we got to make sure we do a good job stopping the run and do a better job of eliminating explosive plays. Just to revisit Kennesaw a little bit, that was one thing that was a little uncharacteristic of our defense, was the explosive chunk touchdowns. I think those really hampered us a little bit in our success, but we'll get back on track this week.
You guys talk about your seniors, I mean, the sticking with the program through the transition, and then this is their last game.
Yeah. I don't know if there's enough time to really say as much as I feel for them as community leaders, as men that I will love and cherish our time together my entire life. There's no doubt about that. When we all came to Missouri State, the football program was a living hell. I mean, it was just in the worst case scenario, and the guys that we brought in believed in us. There was no foundation of proof that this could happen, but they believed in the people that were here. They believed in our processes. They believed in each other. I mean, you sit there and you're going to have 3 young men come up that have been here throughout the test of most of it, and you're going to get to talk to Jacob Clark, Kanye and Cash, and that's the pulse of our team. That's, if you want to look at the senior class and you want to look at what they're about, look at the character of those men, how hard they work, how hard they fight for each other, just beating the odds day in and day out and doing so much with less. All of their friends at these other programs that are D1, the things that they have, the way they live their life in their locker room, and they did it instead of that. They did it because, of how they felt about this place, how they felt about this community, what this place could be, wanted to be a part of history. Again, I don't have enough time to sit up here and ramble on and on about the senior class, but I love them like sons, and they will be deeply missed.
Coach, one of the guys that deserves to be mentioned from Saturday, win, lose, or draw, was the performance of Shamari Lawrence. We didn't get a chance to talk about it much earlier, but a career day for him, a 70-yard touchdown run, over 170 yards on the ground, both career highs for him. And you needed a spark late in that game, and Shamari provided it.
He's been that a little bit the last few games, He's a real player. I think I put something on his Twitter. He had said something about he's ranked high this week in percentages of running backs. I said he's a complete back. That's one thing I love about Shamari, is that he can make all the runs, he can be solid in protection, he can catch the ball to the backfield. And I think another thing that kind of eludes people is his breakaway speed. And that's what he was able to show on that big touchdown run, was once he got a step on the defenders, he was out the gate. And again, Shamari has been a really good asset to our program, and a guy that came in looking for some hope, looking for some guys that believed in him, and he found that right here, and he has been able to excel in ways he didn't think possible.
Tom, anything?
Awesome.
Well, I was just going to ask one more thing. La Tech, 1,900 yards on the ground, 1,900 yards through the air. How do you scheme against that? I mean, do you just have to split it down the middle and be prepared for either thing?
Yeah, you got to play everything. I mean, that's about as balanced. I mean, that's right on the head, 50-50, right? Pretty balanced approach. It all starts as a defensive head coach. You got to stop the run. You got to make sure they can't just run the ball, shorten your neck, and shorten the game itself. We got to be able to get the ball back to our offense, get into, again, I say it all the time, advantage third downs. But they present some challenges, and it's going to be another battle. But why not? We're 7-4 going into senior day with the chance to continue to make school history right here at Missouri State, a year that no one thought possible except the guys you're about to talk to.